And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
And I'm also joined by, or we are joined by, Jeremy Odom. You can find him on Twitter at JO from Nebraska, right? Got
Correct.
that right? Now,
Correct.
Jeremy, you're a man of many talents, and you do a couple of different things here. You're also a stand-up comedian, is that?
Correct. I mean, that's what I call myself. I mean, the audience judges if I'm actually funny enough to be a comedian, but yeah.
Hey, man, getting up on stage like that's takes a little bit of grit, takes a little nerve, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And then
it is something special, yes.
Yeah. And then you're trying to keep it light and funny. Yeah. Oh, man, I think I would clam up.
Yeah, we're easy. We're hiding behind the mic here and, behind the
You guys have
behind
the best
platform,
gig.
So, yeah.
So, all right, well, now that the dust has settled, you know, this is a Nebraska sports betting show, and the transfer portal is closed again.
Yeah.
Spring games are. What are you guys' thoughts or your takeaways from that spring game?
Yeah, my big thing, Andy, is that Sims, the QB, obviously separated himself from the rest of the group.
Right.
He, came out. We didn't get to see a lot of them or whatever, Andy, but there was enough there that made Casey want to leave for sure.
Enter the portal.
Get in the portal. But one thing that, stats that stuck out for Jeff Sims was he's 9 for 13, 138 yards passing, no TDs, no picks, but it was a windy day, Andy.
Yeah.
And he clearly had the best control in accuracy of our quarterback. So he's a big guy. I like what Matt Rule said about him. He's a passer that can run, not the other way around.
Right.
He's a big guy. He's a big passer that has 4.4 speed. So I really liked what I saw out of him, and I'm fully drinking the Kool-Aid on Jeff Sims to be the starting quarterback for the Nebraska Cornhuskers this coming season.
I thought you were going to take it as far as to say he's your new Heisman frontrunner. Jeremy, where are you at with that?
I love a guy who can throw the football, that's for sure.
For sure.
But it was on the defensive side of the ball that I was most impressed. And I love the spring game. You can see the young guys. We had a couple of freshmen at defensive end. I know I'm going to screw up pronouncing their names here, but let's see here. Jordan Addison. No, that is football. My apologies. Let's
Jordan
go.
Addison.
Yeah, that's he is in the NFL,
Yeah,
and he
he
is
is.
doing quite
Now he
well.
is.
Oh, there were a lot of new players, to your point, that stepped up. On the defensive end especially.
Lenhart and
There we go.
Yep.
Uman Mellon.
Okay.
Prince Will Umanillan.
They showed out, and I love seeing some action plays from them and seeing what we could have in the future. So I was very impressed by them.
And how about the local guy, Noonan?
Yeah,
I mean, he
Noonan.
was flashing at times, and I mean, he is a true freshman. So a lot to like there, but it was like we were in mid-season form with 7 or 8 fumbles. And you already mentioned it. The weather was terrible.
Yeah.
But that's playing in the Big Ten, right?
That's
That's
Big
playing
Ten
in Big Ten
football.
West. So like I hate to make excuses already in the spring game for these guys. I don't know. Is that something to be concerned with or not really?
Well, it's definitely something to be concerned with, Andy. And the other concerning thing to me is there's nobody in that running back room that really took up that haunch and said they're going to be our starting running back. We had a couple guys that did, pretty good. Ramir Johnson had a couple nice start and stop and start runs.
Did. Yeah.
Obviously Anthony Grant had a few nice, hard ones up the gut and everything. And then Gabe Irvin Jr. obviously got in the end zone late there. But it's nobody took up that mantle, and we know is going to be that starting running back.
Yeah.
When you start thinking about Husker football back when we were good, all the way back when we were good, it always started with the offensive line and that definitely Division I top prospect running back.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to see. I would like somebody to, make it, big for us and say that this guy is the guy to beat.
Yeah, and Jeremy, to his point, Nebraska was good in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, mid-2000s there for a little bit, and we always had great running backs. Roy Halou Jr., I think was part of that. Amir
For
Abdullah,
sure. Rex
that last
Burkhead.
wave. I think Anthony Grant is going to step up. And
Yeah.
we also had, the room is less crowded now because we just had AJ enter into the portal
Allen,
here.
yep.
Allen, yep. So AJ Allen. So I don't know. Do you have a feel for or an idea of what running back you like or who you think might take it?
Grant's going to be the guy. I just
okay.
love it. We've
Okay.
seen him. It's proven. But the thing is, in the spring game, you can see where we need to improve. You can see where our weakness is. And if ball support, ball security is going to be an issue, that's exactly what Rule's going to look at, and it's going to be a pinpoint. But I'm not concerned about the weather at all. I mean, they'll get used to that. They're going to practice for that, but I love Grant. I think he's going to be our playmaker.
Heck yeah.
Well, this is another year where Nebraska's leading passer or receiver or rusher is out of the program.
Yeah.
Starting
from scratch.
Starting from scratch again. But it's not like we're starting from square one with Jeff Sims. You already mentioned him, the quarterback. But there's still this trend that I can't stand with Nebraska where a youngster has a great season on the offensive end, and then he's out the door. Is that something to be concerned about?
Yeah, obviously everybody would like to see Trey Palmer back here. Obviously, you got but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, it would be nice if Casey was still here and he was, the returning starter and everything. But Jeff Sims, like you said, Georgia Tech transfer had a really good year. I do believe that he's ready to come in here and make a statement. He was so excited about the crowd at the spring game. He's so excited about the fans. He's never seen anything like that. So I do believe he's got Big Red in his heart and he's ready to go. So the biggest concern, Andy, is obviously the offensive line depth, including the 3 incoming freshmen and walk-ons. There are currently 18 rostered, but they had to work out through spring with only 10. Unless another body or two can be found in the portal, this may be a problem that we can't address until the next recruiting cycle. So
we need that portal to open back up, Jeremy.
That's the whole thing is O-line depth, because that's what's going to make this whole room of running backs, Jeff Sims, our new tight ends, our new wide receivers, that makes that all go. So it's O-line depth or we're right back into the same thing that we were in last year.
Yeah, crummy weather, the whole 9 yards, and we still had over 66,000 people there for the spring game. Pretty impressive stuff. You like the defense, Jeremy? Let's talk some of these odds because, we are a sports betting show. Yeah. Everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid.
For sure.
Lines are starting to come out. 7.5 wins are the Huskers. What has anybody seen other than Jeff Sims going 8 for 10 or whatever to make me think that they're going to win 4 more games than the last 2 years? They're going to win this. They're going to win 8 games. You're telling me the same as the last 2 years combined with a new coaching staff, new quarterback, completely new defense. And, oh, by the way, arguably your best young defender is now plays for Michigan. The home state, grown kid, and Ernest Hausman is up in Ann Arbor now.
Yeah, for sure what everybody's looking at, Andy, is that it seems like the Big Ten got a little weaker, and definitely our schedule got a lot weaker than it was just a season ago. We're playing people at the backside of the season like Maryland, Purdue, Michigan State, Northwestern, Illinois that are supposed to all take a step back this year, as in a step forward like Nebraska is projected to do, like, the bookies are saying. So I do understand that, but what really, really is, the big kicker here, Andy, is getting off to a fast start like we didn't last year. We play Minnesota that first Thursday of the season in Minnesota. We have to win that game. And then we jump on the road again to Colorado the next week. It's all about starting fast here, and we need to have at least a win before we come back to Lincoln against Northern Illinois and LA Tech. So those are the 2 games that are really circled on my book of the first 2 games. We have to come out with at least 1 win to get that 7.5.
So Jeremy Gibran is smacking the over. Colorado has a new coach, I heard.
Prime time!
How do you feel about that 7.5?
7.5's a little high. The bookmakers love Nebraska, but here's the difference. Here's what we didn't have a few years ago when the line was 7.5.
Yeah.
We got Frank Solich back.
Boom!
Okay.
The curse is over. Solich is in the mix. Okay,
right.
We've had some continuity before, and we didn't get the wins. I'm liking it this year, so I'm taking the over as well.
Oh, and Herbie's back, right?
Herbie's back.
The original Herbie. And did you see that?
In all sports.
That freaking cannon he was firing?
Yeah.
at halftime there, it was like a double Gatling gun. Yeah. So there was also a line that predicting here a little bit, but plus 1,400 was the line to win the Big Ten. That was last year where the total was at 7.5 once again.
Yeah.
Is it worth a flyer?
Yeah, so that's what it was last year, Andy. I'm seeing it for anywhere from plus 2,500 to plus 6,000 right now. So if you are drinking the Kool-Aid, jump out to another, jump out to one of those apps, and get that plus 6,000 if you think that Nebraska has a real legitimate shot at winning the Big Ten. Do I? Probably not. When you got people like Ohio State at a plus 165 to win the Big Ten, Michigan at a plus 175 the Big Ten, and then obviously you got Penn State, Wisconsin, and Iowa all above the Huskers there with a lot better odds. So I do like the Huskers to progress this year, maybe get that 8 wins, but to win the Big Ten, I don't think so.
I don't know. You got to like the juice, though, right, Jeremy?
You gotta.
If there's enough sugar in the Kool-Aid, I'll drink it. But I'm not liking it this time. They're not going to win the Big Ten.
What about the Big Ten West?
Well,
yes. Let's compete.
I haven't seen. I haven't
No,
seen
they
one of
haven't
those
put
lines
out
yet.
anything for that yet. But I think that's very much something that we could, look at. But winning the Big Ten outright, that would be pretty tough for the Huskers this year, especially with how top-heavy with Ohio State and Michigan the Big Ten is.
What'd that guy say on The Office? If they give you plus 6,000 odds, always take them.
If John Cougar Mellencamp ever wins an Oscar, I'm going to be a very rich man.
Yeah, you don't have to take that bet, Husker fans.
You do not have to
We
take
just
it.
want to put that little disclaimer out there, even though it's better odds than last year.
Yes,
and
sir.
everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid. It is a lot of fun. I think we've won 25, 26 off seasons in a row now.
Yeah.
So,
We're reigning
I've
defending.
drank the Kool-Aid every single offseason.
National champs.
It tastes good every offseason.
Michigan fans, it reminds me of 97, right? They always like, oh, we're the national champions.
Yeah.
And they always think that they win the offseason. It's like, no, you haven't been into Lincoln or Omaha, Kearney listening to, local talk
us.
radio. Yeah.
When you get to wear red in the summer, when we have 5 national championships and nothing on the line, it's
so
a beautiful
nice.
thing.
It's so nice.
There we go. And I thought when you said, well, here's the kicker, I thought you were going to talk about our kickers, but you didn't. So
No.
good on you there.
I can't talk about that yet. I don't know which way that's leaning.
Let's take a quick minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.